Joe Swash, you're next.
OK. One Christmas, I accidentally put the wrong address in my mum's Satnav, and instead of driving to Lakeside, she drove all the way to the Lake District.
Right, David's team.
Geographically, where was the starting point?
Well, it was London, yeah. It was a long time ago. It was when the Satnav, remember it was called Tom Tom?
Actually, it wasn't called Tom Tom.
What was it called?
It was called Tom 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 Tom.
So I've always had slight dyslexia as a kid, so I sort of...
Oh, so maybe it wasn't a Tom Tom, maybe it was your MOT.
Could have been, yeah. I think I just put it in wrong. And
Well,
then...
yes, obviously that's not a detailed explanation of what went awry.
What would you like to know?
What did you type in the word Lakeside?
I stuck in LA, put in the first couple of letters, and then it predicts the word for you.
You put LA in, your mother drove off towards Los Angeles and you went, stop, stop. And you saved it with a K.
Yes.
And then you thought, right, fine, that's fine. There can't be more than one place beginning LAK. It finished Lake Windermere, off she drove.
No, I must have put in the lake, and then it filled the rest in, and I must have just pressed Lake District, taking for granted that...
And you are saying, with a straight face, that your mum, was it just your mother?
No, it weren't my mum. It was my mum and her next-door neighbour, Debbie.
Right.
They just kept driving until it got dark. And then what my mum said is that they got so scared because it was just them two in the car and they didn't know where they were going. My mum doesn't know how to do the sat-nav and all that business, that they thought it would be safer just to continue to where they were going and then just work out what to do the next day. So they went to the Lake District.
They arrived in the Lake District?
Yes. It took them like 6 hours. Yeah, they got...
It took what, 6 hours?
Yeah, they took some wrong turns. So they had to get a hotel and stay in the Lake. I swear...
Come on.
I'm telling you...
I have to say, we've been doing this show for many years and Rob has never, in the middle of it, gone, no!
So after about 3 hours in, they got so far that they weren't going to come back in the same day. They were going to continue and stay where they were.
Yeah.
Debbie phoned her husband, which I think they should have done a lot earlier because he's a cab driver.
Even if he wasn't, it would make sense, really, to make contact.
So what did they do, Joe? Did they stay over there?
They stayed over.
And then what?
I got a phone call.
Yeah.
They were fuming.
They must have been livid.
The thing was like that. My mum didn't know where anything was. She didn't know how to get to places, so she would follow that sat-nav regardless whether it took her into the sea. She'd be in the sea. She'd follow it. So
and yet you put the destination in with such little care.
Well, I just didn't think I was going to... Honestly, when she told me, even I was surprised.
Even you didn't believe
the same questions as you asked, like, why didn't you come home? Why did you stay? None of it made sense to me either. But the one thing she said is that they were very scared, they didn't know where they were going, so they just carried on following the blue line to the end of the destination. And then in the morning, they worked out, I think they asked someone in the hotel that they had to stay in, and then the fella reprogrammed it to come back to London the next day.
Joe Lycett, what are you thinking?
I think it might be true. I can see real hurt in him.
It's doable. It is doable with the dyslexia thing.
If it's a lie and you pick up that card, you're not going to follow through on, yes, they discovered halfway through the journey that they were heading to totally the wrong place, but decided that the thing to do was to follow through on the entire journey. It's more plausible that it happened than that Joe invented that just now.
Basically, David said there's more chance your mother's stupid than you are creative.
I think we think true. I think we think true.
It's true that they drove all that way. Joe Swash, was it true or was it a lie?
Yeah, it happened, yeah.
Yes, it's true. Joe did accidentally send his mum to the Lake District.